All right, testing 1 2. Testing apples. We're all set. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. Work pants. Work pants. Nice. Work pants. You already know, man. We got the work pants today. Hold on, give me a second. All right. It was getting a little too cold. I really need to shave, and I really need to get hair. I really need to trim down the sides, and it's been long. It's been long overdue for me. That for sure. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought I wasn't recording. I was like, wait, okay, I'm good. I'm good. What's up, guys? We're back. We're alive. I hope everyone is doing okay. The sky is blue. The air is clean. We're all going to the gym. We're all building games, of course. Why not? I know it's yours truly. That's just life. Life is like a tug of war, but on the leaving end, we're doing good. We're actually doing great. I'm actually doing great. I've been doing great so far. It's been a rough year, but I felt like after February, everything just kind of sped up. I felt like time just sped up on its own. I don't know. That's just a weird thing we got going on. It's been like that for the past couple years, where like time feels a lot more faster than unusual. I don't know if it's really due to. I'm not sure it's really due to age. We're essentially we are more aware, or essentially if it's something related to. Essentially related to the atmosphere, the magnetic force field. Not sure if it's the planet rotation. Not sure if it's the moon. Not sure if it's any of that in that. Well, I would say biology. I would say in the scientific realms, perhaps, but I'm not. But I'm not really big on the whole. I'm not big in the whole. In the whole galaxy portions of it, but that's just my moral of understanding. But I feel like time has always been fed up. I said fed up. Time has always been sped up. But check it out. I've been reading this book lately, right? Where is it? Right here. Awesome. I've been reading this book. This book right here. It's called The Mythics of Serene. I just picked it up like a couple days ago. And so far, I only just read, about six pages, and so far it's looking interesting. I will have to come back tomorrow with a follow up to get a little more information about it, but I'll definitely be reading more, on my downtime. If you want to pick it up, here it is. Hopefully. This is as good as you can see it. I'll probably put a link in if you want the name of the book. I'll put a link in the description. No, I'll actually put it in the comment section. Maybe link in the description to get so you can have a better clear. So you can go check it out. I brought mine on Amazon, but I'm sure you could probably find one in your local library, like in your local bookstore, or any online bookstores that sells them as well. I think this will definitely be a good start. More on the psychology side of things. I have been doing a lot. Recently I saw this video of this 20-year-old, right? He talked about how he has no job and no future. And it reminds me of that time when I was in my 20s too. I saw that video and I said to myself, man, this kid is so young. I'm 26. I'm doing fine. Personally for me, I'm still in school and I'm still working at a minimum wage job, but at least I'm doing okay. I also got this channel too. Fantastic, of course. We're growing as always. We're definitely making a big change. All I have to do now is put on some face masking and have like a big chain around me or something, and we can snap it in half. That should be a good idea though. I gotta get into that. Yeah, I should do. That's not a bad idea. To just make a whole persona so a lot of people can see. A lot of people can just look into it more. That will be the catalyst of the whole thing. But moving back to the kid. I felt like the kid is. I felt like the kid itself is. I feel like the kid itself has put himself in a rock and a shoe, but he's only really 20 years old, so he can't. So he can't feel like it's over for him. Sure, there's a lot of things that you have. There's a lot of things that he has to change, and everyone else, including myself, to make better. But why did I do that? What was? Well, I don't know why did I do that. That's so random. Like, what the? Why? Why? Why was that there? Like, it's been a long day today. That's all I have to say, man. It's been a long day. Like, I hadn't even done my journaling yet. Like, I'm gonna be journaling after this, but to him, well, as someone who has been to my early 20s, who is just entering to his mid 20s, I could definitely say that if anybody who's just entering to their 20s or in their process or in their 20s, I can definitely say is that you have plenty of time. There's no need to worry. It may feel like the end of the world, but I promise you, it's not. Take a deep breath, acknowledge your situation, and see where you can work on to improve to do better. If you feel like you're not getting enough pay, it's time to look into a new job. See what's in the market. See if you can find some skills to it. If not, other options is school. Now, I know university may not be everyone's bowl of tea, which is completely understandable. But if you know what you're doing, the best advice I can give is to look into something that you're already into, that you enjoy, that you're already doing. Like, for example, if you like teaching, look into the realm of teaching. If you like building, look into that realm. If you like coding, look into that realm. But also make sure you do your research. Make sure you also do your research, and you essentially, and what that means is that you do your research. You make sure the job market is not cooked. You're not walking into the job market completely cooked, not run over by AI or it's oversaturated because they told the 80th person in a row to go become a nurse for some reason, because why not? If you want to choose the easiest route, there are other easier routes out there, but if you want to give yourself a challenge to give yourself a little more money, that also works too. The investments is there. It's a double-edged sword. You go in, you get a degree, but you have to pay back to school. Just make sure what school you're going into. Don't be going into one of them expensive schools. You know damn well you ain't got that kind of money for that. Like, if you got the money for that, you've been saving up, I bet the world is yours. But I'll just go for what I can afford, like the cheapest route. If I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But you know what I'm saying? If school is not the choice you want to go to, looking into this, make content. You know what I'm saying? Right now, there's never been a great time to start making a YouTube channel and put in the work. Listen, I'm not at 100. Listen, I'm not there yet, and it's gonna take time. But for me, I'm not worrying about numbers. I'm just worrying about me coming here every day, showing up, or at least showing up when I can, and just talk about life. I like it when I get to sit down and just talk about life or watch videos related to this and really be more human rather than the influencer or the content simulation where like you essentially turn yourself into a whole simulation where like, hey, you've seen that video of that one dude who rode every single super yacht? Like, no, I don't want to become like that. I'm essentially selling myself out for a quick buck. Don't mind my siblings. I don't even know what they're doing right now. They could be doing. They're probably either playing some kind of video game or watching some TV show that's really getting them this excited. Kids will always be kids. But the point is that you just want to make sure that you do as well. Don't force yourself to do something, and definitely do not take advice from somebody that has never done it themselves. I would never take advice from someone, let's say like an older sibling that would say, "Oh, you should do this." Okay, have you done it? No. Okay, so why are you telling me this? Like, oh, you should do this because you're into computers. No. If I'm into computers, I would definitely look into something that I would look into something that is more towards. I'll look into something that's in computers, but what are we looking at? Are we looking at building computers, programming computers? Are we looking at install? Like, there's a lot of factors to this stuff. You know what I mean? And it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say, and I definitely want to say religion neither. The reason the reason why I kind of disagree with some religion because essentially at the end of the day everyone is doing this for money and money is the most important thing. It's like the main catalyst of life. You need money in order to survive, right? You need money to do anything actually. You can't just walk around and be like, okay, I got $2 in my name and I can essentially live a free life. Like, no, you kind of need money to you kind of need money. If you don't have money, well, essentially you're cooked. There are workarounds like you could live in a storage unit. I've seen those online and stuff. People sleep in cars and stuff. And there are other many ways you could build up money, and you have a lot of workarounds too. So look into what you believe and find it is in your heart. I know exactly what I've already figured out, and I'm not gonna be able to express or keep telling the same person over and over again like, hey, you know, as well. If you know it's not for you, then don't force yourself to do it. Do it as well. You know, society will always have enough people and is to be able to fill in certain things, like doctors, for example. Society is always going to have enough people to have enough doctors and nurses. You know what I'm saying? If you want to become a doctor or nurse, hey man, by all means, go for it. Or nurse well. There's a lot of things that when you get to your 20s, you're gonna learn so much about yourself. You wouldn't even know. Like I never thought when I was in my early 20s, like 22, 23 years old, I really got into philosophy. Like I've been reading a lot of philosophies. I've been reading a lot of businesses, and I've been reading a lot of self-help book related to trauma and stuff. I didn't even know I was into this stuff, but I would sit down for hours just engaging this in stuff with no minimal problem. Like I would work out. Like I didn't even know I enjoy working out. Like yeah, I show up every day. I build the games. I go as failure. I practically do everything right, but damn man, it feels good. It feels good knowing that you worked hard for something and the result is there. Not you work hard, but the results you work hard, got the results, but the results is not happening. You know what I mean? It's like think of it like this: you go to school, you go in, but there's no results. Or you go to work at a job, you work, you care about this job, the pay's trash, but you still show up anyways. But then bam, your coworkers, your managers, and everyone else treats like shit. At that point, we may as well just find a new job. Up their resume. Hasta luego, amigos. See you soon. No, actually, no. I'm not gonna see you soon. See you never. Yeah, see you never. That's just how. That's just how I would see it as. Damn, outside is crazy out there today. The weather these days just goes up and down, up and down, up and down. You know? What you don't want to do is that you don't want to get stuck. Otherwise, I've been in this situation too, where essentially you be in a plateau, day in and night out for years on end. Essentially, nothing changed. If you don't change, nothing changed. That's just how it is. You have to change in order for things to happen. If you hate this job, then you shouldn't force yourself to go inside of that. You shouldn't force yourself to work in that job. You have to make it better. You have to do better for yourself. You have to do better for the people around you. I'm telling you, now I'm going to tell you, I've been telling people this many times. People's opinions is always going to change. A lot of people's opinion change. The best thing to do is to never tell them in the beginning. Always tell them towards the end. By then, they can't stop you because you already put in the work for it. You know what I mean? If you tell them in the beginning, that's how they get to you. They will try to talk you out of it. If that doesn't work, they'll try to first they will talk you out of it. If not, they will probably laugh at you about it. If not, they'll threaten you about it. It's always going to be that way, no matter how you see it. Your parents is gonna probably view you different if you're doing something that doesn't align. Your siblings, even your relatives, which is completely understandable. You know what? You just cut them off and that's it. You don't even have to talk to them. You know, it's like if they want attention, that's on them. If they want you alive, hey, we all like to be alive. I like to be alive. I want to see you guys being alive, healthy, and well. And I can understand certain things as well. However, it's going to require to be able to go outside of where you go. You got to be able to leave hometown. You got to be able to leave the village. You got to see the world too, man. Like, we all want to see the world together. We can't just lie to each other saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but nothing happens. It's like, if you want to go on that vacation, you're going to need to save up some money for that. Or if you want to get that car, you know, you need to save up that money for it. You're going to have to do something to make that happen. If you do it with just, I mean, it's possible minimum wage, but it's going to take a long, long time. Unless you have a real secure safe account, or you're just really that lucky, there's no possible way with minimum wage. Not in this day and age, not in this economy. No. In some instance, yes, but now, and what's interesting too is that I've seen cases where people that makes above minimum wage. We're talking like $100,000 a year. That's like all 2% of civilization right there. $100,000 a year, and yet you can't find nowhere to live. Can't buy a house. Like, what's up with that? And then their options are very and their options are not even, and their options doesn't even go in their favor. That's the thing I definitely dislike. So it's like, you have people working this hard, but then you're forcing them it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? It's like the middle class is being opted out, and then the low class can barely even, we already know about the low class. Like, we all know the stories and the tales. We can't even catch water. we can't even hold our head above water in some cases. But as long as you're doing fine, you're doing good, you keep your head held high, you know, you take it easy, you do your meditations, you go outside, you know, you're working hard, you know, you're doing what you gotta do. I believe that everyone will do okay. I believe. Now, I'm not certain about everyone else's life or situation, which is that to a degree, but I believe that we can all do this together. As long as we're trying our hardest and we're doing the best we can outclass 99% of what there is, and we can literally become the best in our own abilities, in our own ways. I don't have to be that alpha male. I could be myself, but better. You know what I mean? I'll just have to do some things, like find a new job. I'll have to make like an entire email and apply to hundreds of jobs. Or I'll look at some flyers around to see if there's any classes available I can take. Or I'll probably find some part-time job. There's a lot of things you can definitely work out, but the mindset, it's all about the mindset. It's like, if your mental barrier, if you're forcing yourself not to, that's just how you're going to be. You need to break out of that. You need to acknowledge, you need to accept certain things. Until that person decides to change his ways, if he or she is still the same, understandable. Have a nice day. Whoa. No. Sorry. Siblings. I told them that I'm going to be recording my video, and then one still decides to show up. It's always like that. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes. I've been here for long enough. Alright. So let me wrap this up with a few words of advice. You know, just go away, keep your head held high, you know, as well. Take immediate action, take immediate action, and really just make it happen. No one. It's like, what's holding you back? What's stopping you? Because the only person is really can make this happen is you, right there. You, yeah, you, me, and the whole world. So, do everyone a favor. Zip it, lock it, put in your pocket, lock in, put in the grind, and make it happen. I promise you. 6 months from now, 1 year from now, I want to come back to this, and I want to see you guys doing better. I don't want you to do great. I want you to do better. I want you to even surpass me, and even the top 1%, and even the 1%ers. I want you to be at their level, but I want you to enjoy everything. But I want you to keep in the mindset of we also gotta do better. Remember, it's absolute power. But the grind doesn't stop until the grind never stops until it stops. I thought it was the grind never stops till it say it stops, but I'm not so sure. But either way, see ya. Have a nice day. Bye.